Tired of budget audio interfaces that sound cheap, break easily, or have terrible drivers? I analyzed 5 budget audio interfaces that actually deliver professional sound quality without the premium price tag. What I found about preamp quality and build durability will prevent you from wasting money on interfaces that fail during critical recordings. Here we go. Starting off at number 5, this one fixes a problem that's plagued budget interfaces for years: MIDI latency that makes recording keyboards feel like you're playing through mud. We have the Arturia MiniFuse 2. What really stands out is how responsive the MIDI implementation is. Users who gave up on recording MIDI entirely report this feels basically instant. The 5-pin MIDI in and out work alongside USB MIDI, so you've got options for older and newer gear. Here's what matters for actual recording work. You get 2 combo inputs with phantom power, which handles everything from condensers to line instruments. The preamps are clean. Multiple users mention it's as quiet as interfaces that cost more, with no background hiss eating into your recording. Now, the latency specs are where this gets interesting. People are running at 32 samples at 48 kHz and seeing around 5 milliseconds of latency. That's low enough that direct monitoring becomes optional rather than essential. You can layer tracks without that disconnect between what you play and what you hear. The software bundle adds real value here. You get Ableton Live Lite, Guitar Rig 6, Analog Lab Intro, and some others. It's not demo junk. Users mention Guitar Rig alone sounds good enough. They're considering buying the full version. Build quality is solid metal construction with illuminated knobs that glow where they meet the faceplate. Small details, but it feels like a tool that'll last. There's even a USB hub on the back that frees up a computer port. One thing to mention, it needs a firmware update out of the box for the MIDI ports to work properly. Not a deal breaker, just saves you troubleshooting time if you know going in. For Windows users especially, this just works across different DAWs without the driver headaches some other budget options create. In my experience, that reliability is worth a lot when you're trying to actually make music instead of fighting your setup. Link is in the description. Next up at number 4, this is where simplicity actually becomes the selling point. We have the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd generation. For a single-person setup, this just works. Plug it in, install the driver, and you're recording. Users mention it's genuinely plug and play, which matters when you want to make music instead of troubleshooting software. The air mode is what makes this stand out. It's a switchable setting on the preamp that adds clarity to vocals and acoustic instruments. Based on reviews, it's not a subtle effect. People describe it as bringing your voice forward in the mix, making recordings sound more polished without needing post-processing. Here's the practical side. You get 1 XLR input for a microphone and 1/4 inch input for instruments. That's IT. No stereo recording, no dual microphone setups. But if you're recording yourself, that limitation keeps things focused. Less to configure means less to mess up. The preamps are clean and quiet. Multiple users with dynamic mics report the gain is strong enough without adding background hiss. One person mentioned needing an external preamp for a particularly quiet dynamic mic, but that's the exception. For most condensers and standard dynamics, it has plenty of power. Direct monitoring delivers virtually zero latency. You hear yourself in real time through the headphone output, which removes that disconnected feeling when overdubbing. Build quality feels solid. Metal construction, physical knobs that turn smoothly, and those gain halos that light up when you're approaching clipping. Small details that make daily use easier. Keep in mind this is built for solo work. If you need multiple inputs down the line, you'll outgrow it. But for podcasting, single-track vocals, or bedroom guitar recording, it delivers professional results without the complexity. Link is in the description. At number 3, this is where bundled software actually adds real value instead of being throwaway demos. We have the PreSonus AudioBox 96. You get over $1,000 worth of recording software included: Studio One Artist, Ableton Live Lite, and the Studio Magic plugin suite. Users mention this isn't trial junk. These are functional versions people actually keep using instead of immediately upgrading. The hardware itself is straightforward. 2 Class A preamps that handle microphones and instruments through combo inputs. Phantom power for condensers, 24-bit, 96 kHz converters that deliver clean recordings without background hiss. Multiple reviews confirm the preamps are quiet enough for both dynamics and condensers without needing an external gain booster. What's even better is the MIDI input and output. For electronic music producers, this matters down the line. You might not need it now, but when you add hardware synths or controllers, you'll have proper 5-pin MIDI instead of relying entirely on USB. One user mentions this future-proofing is exactly why they chose this over cheaper options without MIDI. The metal chassis feels solid. Users learning their setup appreciate that it handles being moved around without feeling fragile. Direct monitoring delivers actual zero latency playback, so overdubbing feels connected instead of fighting delays. It's USB bus powered, which keeps mobile setups simple. Works with ASIO on Windows without the driver headaches some budget interfaces create. People report it just shows up in their DAW ready to go. One thing worth mentioning, some users in electrically noisy environments needed a better shielded cable than than what's included. Not widespread, but if your setup has interference issues, factor that in. For the software bundle alone, this offers serious value for money. The interface itself delivers clean recordings with room to grow. Links in the description. These products are great, but there are hundreds of deals every day, and most of them are trash. That's why I pick the 5 best from each category every day and post them for free on Telegram. And you can choose only the categories that interest you, with zero spam. Link in the description. Next up at number 2, here's where the 4th generation actually earned the update. We have the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 4th generation. Auto gain is what separates this from older models. Hit a button, it sets proper levels automatically. No more riding gain while someone finds their mic distant. Users report this genuinely works instead of being a checkbox feature. You're focused on recording, not babysitting input meters. ClipSafe backs that up as your safety net. Unexpected peaks get caught before they distort. Combined with a 120 decibel dynamic range, you're capturing detail that matches interfaces costing significantly more. The specs actually deliver what they promise. Air mode brings that Focusrite clarity. It's not subtle according to reviews. Vocals move forward in the mix without needing post EQ. For podcasting or vocals especially, that presence saves you time later. But here's where it gets interesting for anyone doing content creation. The virtual audio routing lets you send specific channels from your computer to your headphones independently. One user mentions running live VST compressors during streams by routing through their DAW and back. That's the kind of workflow flexibility you don't expect at this level. Build quality is metal construction with physical knobs that feel solid. Users who've owned multiple generations mention these reliably run 5 years or more. The Halo gain rings give you visual feedback without staring at software meters. It's USB bus powered, keeping your desk clean. Headphone output has enough power for proper monitoring. Latency sits low enough that direct monitoring becomes a choice rather than a requirement. Worth mentioning, the included cable is USB-A to Type-C, not Type-C on both ends. Some users report occasional driver quirks with certain games, though updates come regularly. For 2-input work where you need reliable professional results, this delivers. What really matters is the auto features actually help instead of getting in your way. Links in the description. Before we reveal our number 1, be sure to check out the description below for the freshest deals on each of these items. And finally, number 1. This is where physical layout actually becomes the selling point. We have the M-Audio Air 192x4. Here's what's surprising. The giant center knob and spread out controls solve a problem nobody talks about, working in low light without bumping the wrong dial. One user mentioned they specifically bought this because they needed something easy to adjust while playing guitar in dim studio lighting. The monitor volume knob is massive. The input controls are spaced far enough apart that you grab what you need without second guessing. What really matters is you're focused on recording, not babysitting your interface. But here's where it gets interesting for preamp power. This drives a Shure SM7B without needing an external booster. Multiple users compared it directly to other budget options and mentioned the Air has noticeably higher maximum gain. They were about to buy a FET for their previous interface, but didn't need one here. That's money saved right there. For dynamic mics specifically, this delivers. The noise floor stays low even with gain pushed high. Someone recording with a Rode PodMic at soft speaking volume gets clean signal at around 9 on the dial, hitting -18 to -12 decibels peak. That's proper recording levels without added hiss. The USB to direct monitoring dial matters for workflow. If you're running virtual instruments or effects, you can balance computer playback against direct monitoring without latency getting in your way. The spec sheet claims 2.59 milliseconds round trip. Users confirm it feels immediate. Build quality is metal construction with USB-C connection. It's been moved around houses and carried in backpacks without issues, the kind of durability that lasts. One thing to mention for Windows users specifically, there's mixed feedback on driver stability. Some report it works flawlessly, others mention running it without the official driver actually solves problems. Mac users report true plug and play. Just factor that into your setup expectation. For the control layout, preamp strength and low latency combined, this delivers professional results without fighting your gear. Link is in the description. Now you know which budget interfaces deliver professional sound without failing during critical recordings. For dynamic mics like the SM7B, go with number 1. For MIDI keyboard work, number 5. For solo podcasting, check number 4. For auto gain and professional workflow, number 2. These prices shift during Prime sales, so check the links in the description now.